Testing, testing. Huh. My hair just sparked right up. Now I look like I have a little Teletubby. Okay, now it's gone. How's everyone doing this Saturday? I don't know who is watching this, but this is just for a future reference to me. I'm going to talk about parables of talents and variables. Oh shoot. What am I drinking right now? Coffee. All right. I'll just get right to it because I don't expect anyone to hear this except me. And if others are hearing this and they find this helpful, hopefully they do. I don't expect myself to be the smartest man on earth. What I'm giving is what I observe, and I believe this holds true to an extent. I'm sure some of you who are watching are Christians, and if not, I'm pretty sure you've heard of the story of the parable of talents. I'll give a quick overview. There was a wealthy man who was about to leave to a far country. So his three servants, he gave them a certain amount of talents. I believe talents at that time was a certain form of currency, but I think later on you'll find out that these talents could actually still apply literally to the word just talent right now, which is what you specialize in, or responsibility. So, so he gave them a certain amount of talents based on the ability of what they can perform. And as I could tell the story out, you could find how this can apply to currently what's happening right now, because sometimes we're placed in a job where we don't like where we're starting, or we don't like the current responsibilities we're doing because we feel like it's kind of pathetic that we only have a few responsibilities instead of being like a Bill Gates or Elon Musk. So I think this is helpful for those who think like, why should we even do this job to our best extent? So anyways, there's three servants. He gave one servant 5 talents, another servant 2 talents, another servant 1 talent. And he told him to make the best of it. So as he's gone, when he returned, he asked the servants, how did they perform with those talents? The first servant, who got 5 talents, said, oh, hey, Andrew, how's it going? The first servant, who got 5 talents, it doubled. He said to his master that I was able to take these 5 talents, trade it, invested it, and I was able to double it to 10 talents. And the master was like, oh, good job for making good use of those 5 talents and utilizing it. The second servant, he gave 2 talents. Oh, you're at the gym. Yeah, that's great, dude. Keep exercising. So a servant with 2 talents, he told him to double those talents, and even though he only has 2, not compared to 5, he was still able to make the use of it and double it to 4. So, hey, Sean, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just vlogging like a self bookmark to myself, just a reference to myself. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, talk to you later, Andrew. So he was proud of that servant who doubled his talents to 2 to 4. So now that servant who just buried that 1 talent into the ground, he says, sorry, sir, I don't know what to do with this. I was afraid to use it. So I buried down to the sand, and now it's just as it is, 1 talent. Now the master was angry, and he he basically fired the servant, and he took that talent and gave it to the person who could handle 5 talents in the beginning. Now he has 11 total because he doubled it plus that 1. So something that you can learn from that is some people have the capability. Some people start out with a lot of talents. Some people start with a little amount of talents. We acknowledge it, and it does seem unfair, but those are the things the way are. But I think there's some things we have to consider is that even though we have these certain amount of talents, if we're able to basically try to utilize the best to the ability of how to use them, and make best use of them, it can compound to something better, and we're given more responsibilities where we start off compared to just burying in the ground and doing nothing about it. And some people will see that and observe it too. We think that it's just for ourselves, but there are people who are observing us, like our supervisor or manager, and they see that if you can handle those certain responsibilities, they'll give you more responsibilities. Those who can't, you lose your job for it. And I think it comes to show that some of us have to be more I've been thinking about it because I feel like sometimes, even though we don't like the talent we're given, if we're able to master what we can right now, we're shown to be capable of handling things that we want to do later in the future. And if we just sit still, and some of us feel like we're always not ready, we always want to do preparation, or as a developer, you want to keep reading a book or doing a tutorial, it's basically like burying yourself in the dirt. And that's something that the supervisor can't really tell if you're making progress in that, if you're just always burying it and you're afraid to produce something that he can see as of value. So that's something to consider. And now, how does it play into the role of variables? So I think something important about variables is that every time we are given a task, I think as developers, we have to know what we have control of and what we don't have control of, and what are the main factors that makes the project important to other people and other customers. And these variables, they have to be clear and concise. And it's similar to talents, because when we start with a project, we can't just create like an awesome Facebook or an awesome Instagram. Instead, we just start with we call an MVP, a minimum viable product. We started what factors can make this product at least function. And if that can work, we can double its capabilities into something that we can create. So something to consider is with variables, something important like in our own lives or when we're creating something, it's important to know, at least define 2 to 3 things that we can control, and who knows where that can take you. And if you can build it concise, you've proven that you're able to handle that responsibility and you can take on more tasks. I find that if I try to create something, and even though it fails or not, with those 2 things that I've tried, I know that I can expand to certain fields left to right. For example, like I tried to do Android Studio development. That didn't really take me anywhere, to be honest. I mean, it did take me anywhere, actually. And even I practiced like interview questions with LeetCode, HackerRank, and CodeSignal, stuff I'm posting on my YouTube channel right now, that I didn't understand how much of that works, but it made me much more better in clearly, concisely laying out what I want to develop, defining like how do I reach my end goal. It's sort of creating those little gears in my head that would delegate me to the correct direction. So, and now with those certain abilities, I was able to understand certain concepts of Java. When I did Android Studio, even though that didn't work, my talent when I developed in Java, I was able to understand object-oriented programming. I was able to understand how to use certain libraries and how to like put that thing into production. And with those certain like little talents that I've built, I was able to transfer it to other jobs, like working with JavaScript, working with NPM libraries. And yes, Sean, Android Studio is definitely not the simplest to use of all IDEs. React Native all the way. So yeah, that's the basic moral of Parable of Talents. This was kind of impromptu, so hopefully later in the future, if I develop better talents, I could tell the story much more concisely and probably give a better moral to it. But hopefully this helps, and thank you for all those who attended. Thank you, Sean, for listening. This was meant to be a future reminder to future Joshua if whatever happens. Hopefully he didn't hide his talents in the future. Hopefully those who are listening don't hide their talents. Don't just stick to tutorials or books. You have to try to produce something, and even if you don't, people who observe you and view the sort of momentum that you're making will be able to probably define what sort of talents that you do have responsibility for, and they'll double it because they believe that, okay, he's trying something, he's investing into something, and he has control of something. And so yes, keep up use of your talents. Yeah, React Native all the way. All right, well, that's about it. Have a good day. See ya.